trial is not a single lawyer game. I think a lot of people think that trial is a single lawyer work, and I think it is even beyond lawyers. Sometimes you need other stuff, other people who are very critical. So, and in India there is not a lot of discussion around it. Like evidence gathering could be a very important thing. Sometimes the client is not able to bring all the relevant evidence to you. So how do you handle those aspects? And if you can talk about team game in trial advocacy.
That's very important. So, in arbitration that we've worked on, there are like 7 people in terms of lawyers. So everyone is playing a different part also. A lot of it is about teamwork. But at some point, it all becomes, there is one person or 2 persons, who know everything about everything. For instance, in a criminal trial, for instance, there are some people who would say, ये 3 witnesses की testimony पे मैं prepare करूँगा, इस witness पे मैं prepare करूँगा, क्योंकि जब वो prepare करते, obviously they also have to know the case. You cannot prepare one witness's cross-examination without knowing the entirety of the case. But yes, then you focus on that witness. Then you look up his witness's LinkedIn account. You look at what he's doing in life. You try to discredit him. You try to do multiple things. So वो bifurcation तो बहुत जरूरी होता है. Legal points होते हैं. हर criminal trial में 10-5 legal questions निकलेंगे. वो भी आप बांट लेते हो. For example, Manish in this case worked on what is the evidentiary value of a defense expert witness. Is he entitled to the same weight as a prosecution expert, or a different standard applies? Is there an equality or no equality there? So different, whether the prosecutor's testimony by itself is good enough, CDR की कितनी evidentiary value होती है, recovery statement की कितनी होती है, 65B नहीं डाला तो क्या होगा, 313 की statement जो accused की होती है जिसमें कोर्ट सवाल पूछती है, वो नहीं हुई ठीक से तो क्या होगा. So all of that happens. Then of course there are defense experts, handwriting expert, you may have a voice specimen expert. We are doing a case where the conversation happened between an official and the complainant, where there allegedly a demand for bribe was made. My client says, "This is not my voice," right? So you'll have to get a voice expert to depose that this is not his voice. They'll get their expert. In other countries, you'll have hot tubbing of the experts where both experts battle it out amongst themselves. But in India, that doesn't happen. So you'll take experts. Sometimes you'll have a personal, you'll have an investigator, to help you gather some stuff. Sometimes you'll have researchers looking just in law. Some people are looking into facts. Some people are just ensuring everything is there on that day. Some people are preparing judgment compilations. Then somebody is preparing on the briefing note for the senior counsel. And if you're arguing ourselves, then for us, some people is just thinking about the opposite side's case laws and just distinguishing them, destroying them. Some people is thinking, for example, your case is going to be listed before X bench. Some people are just looking at what the bench is deciding in similar cases. उनके recent judgments क्या है पिछले 6 महीने के. कोर्ट में जाके आप बैठते हो, देखते हो कि what is it really that how they think on these issues, on legal issues. Because if they've taken a view already, it is challenging to get them to take a different view. But it is possible. But then that's also part of preparation. Prepare for it. Civil cases कोई arbitration है, कोई construction arbitration है, तो आप damages के expert लेके आते हो. टेक्निकल एक्सपर्ट्स लेके आते हो कि यार ये सड़क सही बनी नहीं बनी, ये सड़क जो आपने बनाई थी इन द हाईवे दैट सॉर्ट ऑफ डिसइंटीग्रेटेड बिकॉज ऑफ सॉइल नॉट बीइंग स्टेबल, whose fault was it? Was the material bad? Was it because of geological conditions? Was it a force majeure? Then you get technical experts who are engineers to do this. कई बार किसी शेयर के वैल्यूएशन से रिलेटेड डिस्प्यूट है, आप किसी फाइनेंशियल एक्सपर्ट को लेके आओगे. डैमेजेस एक्सपर्ट अब आ गए हैं जो चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स हैं, CFAs हैं, वो आके बताएंगे कि कितना डैमेज हुआ है. यू एंड आई कांट टॉक अबाउट दोज इश्यूज. सो इट्स एब्सोल्युटली अ टीम वर्क. लगता है मतलब सूट्स वगैरह देख के कि यार एक बंदा होता है वो ऐसे देखता है डॉक्यूमेंट को, फाइल को देखता है ऐसे, yeah, figure it out. I'll see you in court at 2 tomorrow. And then he walks out stylishly and he sits into his Lexus and just goes away. And then next day, coffee in his hand, he enters the courtroom, he says something and then they won. The team is not there. they thought कौन जाए, उसने कर तो लिया है. He's figured it out himself. Hardly happens. Obviously, there are points that would strike you with your experience. आपने patterns recognize कर लिए. हर केस का एक pattern होता है ना. Criminal case के patterns होते हैं कुछ. अब इतने आप तजुर्बा होता है तो आपको पता लगता है यार ये इस तरह से जाएगा. It's all about foresight, trying to predict outcomes. The more experience you have, the better you are able to predict outcomes. And count probabilities intuitively, not maths. So, फिर आप गाइड कर सकते हो टीम को. तो हर किसी का अपना उस तरीके से रोल होता है. हम कोशिश करते हैं कि हम एक मूव टाइप का कुछ कर लें. चलो जी आप आर्ग्यू करो, वो क्या आर्ग्यू करेंगे. Then all of these are coming up with points, this, that, this. Then you say, okay, now you counter them. So that's what it is. Yeah.